Hello and welcome to Super Great Kids Stories, wise tales from storytellers around the world, which will make you laugh and sometimes cry. Recommended for ages 5 to 105. I'm Kim and I love stories. Hello, Super Great Kids, and how are you? I hope you're enjoying the sunshine. Are your school holidays just around the corner, or maybe they've already begun? I'm rather pleased because it's properly warm now in London and I've been able to go to the sea and have a good long swim. And I'm also happy because the film of our live show in the UK is now ready to watch. Just go to our website at supergreatkidsstories.com. Our theme is nature and growing things. And the story this week, which is from Mexico, is called The Ram in the Chilli Patch. A ram, do you know what a ram is? A ram is a male sheep and they often have big curly horns. And chilies are the spicy hot vegetables which Anansi would have used to make his hot pepper soup. They're really quite easy to grow. Before we begin the story, I wonder if you can think of the names of any food you'd like to grow if you had a vegetable patch. Things to eat like chilies or lettuce or strawberries. Now, there's a challenge. Think about what food you would grow in your vegetable garden while we have a quick word with the grown-ups. Well, hello there, grown-ups and Super Great Kids Stories fans. As you probably know, we depend on your generosity and support to keep making this podcast. If you subscribe and join the Owlets Club, you'll get access to all sorts of lovely extras like subscriber-only episodes, early and ad-free episodes, as well as a newsletter from Story Owl, word puzzles, book recommendations, and film footage of our live shows. To support Super Great Kids Stories and join the Owlets Club, just click subscribe in Apple Podcasts or visit patreon.com/supergreatkidsstories. Hello, Super Great Kids. I'm back. So, I wonder what you'd grow in your vegetable plot. Would you grow carrots or sunflowers for their seeds? Or potatoes or cabbages or broccoli? Or would you grow fruit like strawberries? Or maybe even orange trees or almond or cherry trees? And now, it's time for our story, which is from Mexico. Mexico is a large, beautiful Spanish-speaking country with the United States above it and Central American countries Guatemala and Belize below it. It has lots of volcanoes. The biggest volcano is called Popocatépetl. And in Mexico, you can still see the remains of great cities built hundreds of years ago by the Maya, Toltec and Aztec people who lived there. So let's begin with Había una vez, which means once upon a time in Spanish. Once upon a time there was a boy, and one day his grandma gave him his very own vegetable patch. He decided to grow hot chili peppers so he could earn a little money to help his family. First, he turned over the earth in his little plot of land. Next, he planted his seeds carefully, row by row, and then he watered them every day. It wasn't long before tiny green spikes began to push up out of the ground. They got bigger and bigger and bigger, and soon there were little green fingers ripening to a rich red in the Mexican sun. And before you know it, the boy had a harvest of hot red chilies, ripe and ready to pick. Soon the boy was able to earn his living selling red-hot chili peppers in the market. Every week he'd set up his stall at the side of the road. Come and buy my red-hot chilies, red and ripe, come and see. Sweet and crunchy, red and munchy, chilies here for you and me. Do you think you could help him sing his chili song? Come and buy my red-hot chilies, red and ripe, come and see. Sweet and crunchy, red and munchy, chilies here for you and me. But oh dearie me. One day a big old ram with twirly curly horns got into the little boy's chili patch and started munching on those delicious vegetables. The boy didn't know what to do, so he shouted, "Hey, Mr. Ram, you need to scram and leave my chili patch now." And the ram said, "Are you crazy? These chilies are yummy, these chilies are scrummy, and I'm going to eat them for my supper." "Hey, Mr. Ram, please will you scram and leave my chili patch now?" said the little boy, almost in tears. "I need these chilies to sell at the market." And the ram said, "Are you crazy? These chilies are yummy, these chilies are scrummy, and I'm going to eat them for my supper." And the little boy burst into tears and said, "Hey, Mr. Ram, I'm begging you to scram. Please leave my chili patch now." And the ram said, "Are you crazy? These chilies are yummy, these chilies are scrummy, and I'm going to eat them for my supper." So the brave little boy tried to push the ram right out of his chili patch. But the ram pushed right back. The boy pushed, oof, and the ram shoved, meh, and the boy shoved, woof, and the ram pushed, meh. And then the ram butted the boy right out of his chili patch. "Whee! Bump, crunch, ouch!" said the boy. He got up, dusted himself down, and ran out in tears. "Ay, caramba!" he said. "Now what shall I do?" Just then along came a cow, or a vaca, as they say in Spanish. "What's the matter, little boy?" she asked. "Why are you crying?" The boy told the cow, "A ram knocked me down." "Oh dear! Why did he do that?" "Because he was eating all the chilies in my chili patch, and I asked him to stop. I pushed and I shoved and I jumped and I hopped, but I could not make him stop." "Don't you worry about a thing, my lovely," said the cow. "I'll sort that ram out right now." So the cow trotted into the chili patch and mooed. "Hey, ram, you need to scram and leave this chili patch now." Which in cow language sounds a bit like this. Moo, 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 moo. And the ram said, "Are you crazy? You silly old cow. How rude. These chilies are yummy, these chilies are scrummy, and I'm going to eat them for my supper." So the brave cow lowered her horns and looked very menacing and tried to push the ram right out of the chili patch. But the ram pushed right back. The cow pushed moo. The ram shoved meh. The cow shoved moo. And the ram pushed meh. And then the ram butted the cow right out of his chili patch. "Whee! Bump, crunch, moof," said the cow. "Meh, meh, 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 meh," went the rude ram, and that ram kept on nibbling at the chilies. And the little boy, well, he kept on crying. "Ay, caramba!" he said. "Now what shall I do?" And just then along came a dog, or perro, as they say in Spanish. "Ooh, ooh, Don't you worry, little boy, I'll help you. I can get him out of here for sure. So he patted into the chili patch and barked, woo, 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 which, as all of you know, because you speak dog, means, hey, Ram, you need to scram and leave this chili patch now. But the ram stamped his foot and said, are you crazy, you disgusting dog? How rude. These chilies are yummy, these chilies are scrummy, and I'm going to eat them for my supper. So the dog bared his teeth and snarled and tried to push the ram right out of the chili patch. But that ram pushed right back. The dog pushed grrr. The ram shoved meh. The dog shoved grrr. And the ram pushed meh. And then, you guessed it, the ram butted the dog right out of his chili patch. Whee! Bump, crunch, groof, said the dog. Nah, 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 went the rude ram. And that ram kept on nibbling at the chilies until there were fewer and fewer and fewer chilies left in that chili patch. And the little boy, well, he just kept on crying. Ay, caramba, he said. Now what shall I do? Just then, along came a donkey, or burro, as they say in Mexico.
Hee-haw, hee-hee-haw. Don't you worry, little boy. I'll help you,
said the donkey.
I can get him out of your chili patch, no problem.
So he trotted into the chili patch and brayed,
hee-haw, hee-hee-haw, hee-hee-hee-haw.
Which, as all of you know, because you speak donkey, means,
hey, Ram, you need to scram and leave this chili patch now.
And the ram stamped his foot and said, are you crazy, you bonkers burro? How rude. These chilies are yummy, these chilies are scrummy, and I'm going to eat them for my supper. So the donkey pulled back his lips in an effort to look a bit mean and tried to push the ram out of the chili patch. But the ram pushed back. The donkey pushed, hee-haw, and the ram shoved, meh, and the donkey shoved, hee-haw, and the ram pushed, meh, and then the ram butted the donkey right out of his chili patch. Wee bump crunch, hee-haw, said the donkey. Meh, 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 went the rude ram. And the ram kept on nibbling at the chilies until there were hardly any chilies left in that chili patch at all. And the little boy kept on crying. Ay, caramba, he said. Now what shall I do? Just then he saw a teeny tiny ant, which is hormiga in Spanish. Little ant, please, will you help me get that ram out of my chili patch? He's eating my chilies and soon there won't be any left at all. And the ant looked up from her work and asked,
maybe. What will you give me in return?
And the boy scratched his head and he said, well, I would give you a whole heap of corn.
How much is a whole heap?
Asked the ant. Well, said the boy, I'll give you a bushel of corn.
That is too much,
squeaked the ant. Then I'll give you half a bushel.
That is too much,
squeaked the ant. OK, then I'll give you a bucketful, said the boy.
Oh, that is way too much,
squeaked the ant. OK, then I'll give you half a bucketful.
That is too much,
squeaked the ant. Well, hurry up, or there'll be no chilies left to sell, said the boy. How about if I give you a handful of corn?
OK,
said the ant, and as fast as she could on her little anty legs,
plink plonk, plink plonk, plink plonk,
she scurried towards the chili patch. and slowly by slowly she climbed the ram's leg until she reached his little bottom. And then she opened her jaws wide, 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 and whoomph! She gave him a huge bite. "Ay, caramba!" yelped the ram. "Oh dear, oh dear, oh dearie me! I've been stung by a giant bee," cried the ram. And then he ran as fast as his old legs would carry him, out of the chili patch, over the hills, and far away. And, as far as I know, he's still running now. And as for the boy, he picked himself up, dusted himself down, and lifted his watering can and watered his chilies. Some he picked, some he left for another day, and some he took to market. He gathered up his chilies and he walked slowly down the road, swinging his basket and singing. "Come and buy my red-hot chilies, red and ripe, come and see. Sweet and crunchy, red and munchy, chilies here for you and me." Snip, snap, snout, that story is out. Oh, thank you for listening. Here's my question. What do you think you'd have done to get a ram out of a chili patch? Would you have asked an animal to help you? Perhaps a dog? Or would you have asked a grown-up? Or would you have tried watering the ram with your watering can or hose pipe? I rather like stories where the little guy helps to win the day. Now, it's time to have a dig into my bag of happies and say a big thank you to some owlets who've been hopping into our nest and supporting our podcast. And welcome to new owlets, Ellis and Rory from Geneva in Switzerland. Ellis is 6 and likes The Ghost of the Bloody Finger and The Laughing Prince. And Rory is 4 and he likes dragon stories, particularly The 2 Dragons and The 4 Dragons. And a big hooty welcome to your new baby Asta. What an exciting time. Maybe you'll be able to tell stories to baby Asta soon. And to new owlet Sadie, who is 5 and lives in Salt Lake City in Utah in the US. Sadie has been listening since she was 2 years old. Goodness, that's dedication, Sadie. You are a super fan. And hello to Erin from Maryland in the US, who has just turned 6. Erin loves listening to Super Great Kids stories in the car with her siblings Eleanor and Caleb. They especially like the This Little Crocky song from Why Crocodiles Sleep with Their Mouths Open. Ah, yes, I like that song too, Erin. It's so ridiculously silly. And over to New York City now, and to siblings Margot, who is soon to be 5, and Noemi, who is 1. They listen every day after school and when they're making their dinner. And a big hello to Milos from San Francisco, who is 5, soon to be 6, and who just became an owlet. Milos says he doesn't have a favourite story because he likes them all. Go for it, Milos. And and hello to Jai in Wanstead in London in the UK. Jai listens in the car, in the bath and sometimes at bedtime. His favourite story is Anansi and the Magic Pot. That's a great story, Jai. And a big and hello to owlet Adeline from Maine in the US, who is 6. Adeline sent in 2 lovely pictures of Little Blue Cap and River Mama, both with sparkly jewels on them. Adeline, I love the way you've drawn the water around River Mama and you've given her a crown of jewels and long black hair. Lovely. Thank you. And finally, hello to Nathan from Dublin in Ireland, who particularly enjoyed the scary story, The Knucker. Well done for listening, Nathan. I found that one proper scary. And thanks so much to all of you for sending in your amazingly creative drawings and pictures of our stories. We don't have time on the podcast, sadly, to mention all of you, but we'll post the pictures you send on our Facebook page to share with other story fans. Here are a few of my picks of the week. Thanks to Josie for your beautiful picture of the Russian fairy tale, Strawberries in Winter. I really like the way you've drawn the 12 hooded grey figures all huddling around the fire. Really good. And 3 super great cheers for Super Great Kids fan Galilea, who is 9 and lives in Arkansas in the US, who's drawn a remarkable picture of the enormous turnip, including a ruler to show how big the turnip is compared to the farmer. Very clever idea, Galilea. Well done. And hello to Poppy and her sister Lily in Weymouth, Massachusetts in the US. Poppy has drawn the snake from her favourite story, The Snake Sister. I love the way you've drawn the pattern on your snake labismina and the blue sea and the yellow sand in the background, which makes her stand out. It's a super great picture for a super great story. Thank you, Poppy. That's it for this week. If you'd like to see some of these super great drawings, they're on our Facebook page at facebook.com/supergreatkidsstories. Do send in your pictures for us to share on Facebook with other story lovers. And if you'd like to send a picture, either attach it to our Facebook Messenger or scroll to the bottom of our website at supergreatkidsstories.com. We're sorry we can't mention them all, but we can tell you they are all super great. And very good news. Ba-ba-da-ba-ba-ba. If you'd like to see the film of our recent show with Toop and Kate and me, it's available this weekend. For subscribers, keep a lookout in your subscription channel. And if you'd like to buy it, just go to our website at supergreatkidsstories.com. You'll be joining in and singing along in no time. Meanwhile, keep telling your stories and singing your songs. See if you can find an easy story to tell and surprise someone in your family by telling your version of it. See you soon. This podcast was recorded at Wardour Studios in London.